Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fancy Football Podcast with me and Nonso Arinzechi on this day where football transfer is the talk of the day. It is believed that Chelsea are in talk with Napoli over a swap deal between Victor Osimhen and Romelu Lukaku. And this deal, possibly it might work as a loan deal for Chelsea to get Victor Osimhen on loan, and with an option to buy his contract next season if everything goes as planned. Today, we will look at these two players and how far they've come and what will Chelsea get from Victor Osimhen if the deal goes in perfectly well. Now, so what do you think about this deal, first of all, before we go into the nitty-gritty of this transfer deal?
I think it's a match made in heaven. I'll start off with Victor Osimhen's move to Chelsea. I think for every striker that have made it, into the Blues of Chelsea, they've got one attribute, physicality, strength. They've got grit. They're a bit gutsy. And looking at Osimhen and the way he plays, he does epitomize what you would call the Chelsea kind of striker, the likes of Didier Drogba, the Diego Costas of this world, and it's a match made in heaven. I think if he joins up with the team, it could be that missing link or that missing piece in the puzzle or in the jigsaw to make a perfect Chelsea team that is being built by this new led management by Todd Bowley. So I think it's a massive move for Chelsea, but we wait to see whether they can get them deal. Like you did say, there's Paris Saint-Germain in the picture. There's a certain Arsenal as well in the picture as well. So it's not a hoodoo for Chelsea, as even talk about Victor Osimhen. But Lukaku, I think he's going back to a manager that knows him so well, in Antonio Conte. Manager has, before he even got the job, he told him, this is the man I want to replace Victor Osimhen. And there's one thing you cannot argue about all the strikers that played under Antonio Conte. For Costa, he was a bully, a beast. And Lukaku is a Jurassic dinosaur. He ticks all the boxes of the Antonio Conte kind of striker. When he was at Inter Milan, he had a certain Lautaro Martinez. He had some bullies like Edin Dzeko. So it tells you that that's what kind of striker he wants. And Lukaku seems to foot the bill. We saw him at Inter Milan during his time there with Antonio Conte. They played together, and he wants to have that bromance again. So I think both deal looks like a fantastic deal in the making. But like you said, there's a lot of intricacies and a lot of things that need to go right for those deals to come to fruition.
Okay, Lukaku cost Chelsea 125 million euros 3 years ago when they signed him from Inter Milan.
Absolutely.
He came back under Thomas Tuchel, who wanted him. But that romance didn't really happen. Knowing fully well that Chelsea are a club that have history, and I will say it, they have history of floppy number 9. I can name a lot of number 9s that have gone on into that Chelsea team and refused to perform well. I can absolutely name 2 number 9s that have performed well in history for Chelsea, which we all know, Didier Drogba and
Diego Costa.
Diego Costa, the latter you just mentioned now. But knowing fully well that Lukaku will go to the other side if everything works as planned. For Victor Osimhen, which I want us to focus on now, what do we get? What will Chelsea get from Victor Osimhen? First of all, guarantee goals. Are you sure he will bring goal guarantee for Chelsea? Knowing fully well that for the past 2 seasons, when they won the Scudetto, he scored how many goals in 32 matches? They're about 26 goals in 2 matches. Last season, 15 goals in 20 years. So knowing fully well that this is what he brings, and with him and Jackson in that team combined, they can really help the team get that edge or that missing catalyst that Chelsea as a club have been missing going forward. What's your take about it?
I feel sorry for Jackson because I think the emergence of Victor Osimhen could only relegate him to the bench. As much as I fancy him as a very good workaholic, in the sense that he works so hard for the team, he puts in a shift in, but he's not that number 9. He snatches at chances. He's very wasteful at chances. When I keep saying I don't see this guy as number 9 because he's a 1 goal 6 chances kind of striker, and a lot of fans wanted to come for me. He didn't find his blistering form in preseason, and it happened exactly what I was saying. I don't think he hit the cut at Chelsea. So if Victor Osimhen means he has to sit on the bench, or better still, force him to play as a winger, which he wouldn't want to. You know, he always he wants to score goals, but unfortunately, he doesn't have the attributes of a clinical number 9. So Chelsea will have to either decide, okay, do we force him to the wing or do we drop him out? So I think he's going to leave a certain Nicola Jackson in the dilemma. But let's come back to Victor Osimhen. And what does Victor Osimhen bring? He brings pace. He brings tenacity. He brings grit. He brings power, and he brings goals. 15 goals last season. Don't forget. I know you would say it's not a perfect season for a typical number 9, but we don't forget it was an injury-laden season where he was most of the time in the doctor's office. And to get 15 goals, despite suffering lots of injuries, tells a lot about your ability as a striker. Meaning that when you're up and running, when you're fully fit, you get goals, and which is very important. So you need kudos to that as well. Don't forget, when he won the Scudetto, he was the main man, him and Kabisha Brastavelia, where he got 26 goals that season. It was unplayable. And I don't forget, at some point, he picked up injuries, but he still hit 26 goals. So I think the problem with Victor Osimhen is how well can this Chelsea team keep this man fit? If they can't keep him fit, then I tell you, he can't be firing. He's an absolute goal scorer. He gets you goals, you know. He sniffs at chances. He chases lost cause. You know, that's what Chelsea loves. They love strikers who are always chasing the ball, whether it's even a lost call, whether there's a chance of getting the chance or not. The guy sniffs his chance. I think the only thing he needs to improve is his technique. And I've talked about this a lot of time. Even when I talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, he needs to know when to smack the ball, when to place the ball, when to roll the ball. He's still learning that stuff, you know. If he was a very clinical striker, Osimhen should be hitting 14 goals a season because he gets into very, very dangerous positions. He's always in the right place at the right time. But unfortunately, sometimes he just tries to, he overcooks it and maybe overdoes it, you know, and it affects him. But surely Chelsea would enjoy having him around because if there's one thing they're sure, like I said, he will get goals, he will get power, he will get a tireless worker, and most importantly, he has the ability to bring other players into play. So that the African Cup of Nations, when Victor, a certain player, Haruna Lukman, enjoyed life playing behind him because when he's in there, he's like the big man. He drags a lot of defenders to himself and allows spaces to the wingers or the number 8, depending on the position, to running behind him and get those chances and knock the ball in the back of net. So I think it's going to be a great acquisition for Chelsea. But still, you know, I take on Victor Osimhen. I still think it's not a finished package yet. There's still a lot the young man has to learn. And I think he can learn that under Enzo Maresca, who's very good with handling young players.
Okay, looking at the recent buy for Chelsea, you see that Drewsby Hall was signed from Leicester City, age 26. They have other players that were signed at that age. Osimhen also within that age.
Absolutely.
How valuable Osimhen's experience will be going into if he signed for Chelsea? How valuable, knowing fully well he has done it with Spalletti in Italy two seasons ago. How valuable his experience will be if he joined Chelsea?
I think it will be very crucial. Like you said, he's a perennial winner. He knows how to win. This guy has played in the final of the African Cup of Nations. He's played in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. He's won the Scudetto for a Napoli team, the Panathinaikos, for the first time in over 30 years. And to add quality to the young man has got he's got a hunger, a kind of drive to want to improve himself. So I think they've got a quality player. If you look at the age range of the players at Chelsea, they're more likely young players who are trying to make names for themselves. He comes into that team as a winner. He brings that winning mentality. Conor Gallagher, as much as we talk about him as the captain of the team, he hasn't won much. The only guy who had done that was Thiago Silva, but he's left through the door. Yeah. Some of the players' legs have left through the door. So you want to have players who can look you in the eye and say, I've got what it takes to play at the highest level, and I'm taking no prisoners. I'm going to give it all my all. I'm going to carry these young boys along. I'm going to be the shoulder these young boys can lean on. I'm going to be the ears where these players can talk to. They can speak to me. They can have a go with me. We can have a bromance. So they're bringing a leader, an absolute leader, a perennial winner, and don't forget, he's a very, very quality striker, and he can be contagious. The guy can be contagious. He has the ability to bring out the best in all of his teammates. And come on, I think if Chelsea gets hold of this guy, they've got a rare gem. I can assure you, he gets to 25, 30 goals all in a season. It doesn't matter how Chelsea finishes. It's just that they've got to put potential goal scorer. They finish they work on other aspects of their game where I think they are lacking. Because I don't think it's only the attack that is suffering. Then I think Chelsea can compete because like I keep saying, for a team to win the Premier League, you need a striker that can give you 25, 30 goals, and Victor Osimhen can. Sure, he can.
Okay, let's look at the risks behind this deal. Let's look at the risks. Let's talk about the risks and the reward behind this deal. Uh, what do you think are the risks and the reward behind this deal if the proposal goes through?
There's so many risks. I don't think it's Uhuru. There are so many risks. First of all, his injury history. It's one thing you want to argue with. Like I did say, he had an injury-laden season last season. Last 2 seasons, he wasn't even fully fit all season. And you're coming to a league that is more physical. There's so much grit. Too much contact. The players want to have a go at you. They want to feel you. You could hear Ferdinand say, whenever he's in the striker, he wants to feel the striker. So there's always going to be contact for a player who is injury and that issue that he chases crazy courses that you're expecting by now to experience-wise to let go of. So injury
Yeah.
worry should be a problem. I think his injury history is one of the risks he'll be taking, but I think it's a risk worth taking. Another risk could be the fact that he's new to the terrain. Life in London, in England is different. Maybe family he may be enjoying the serene life of Italy. It's cool, calm, the serenity. But in England, it's very noisy and very jumpy. He has to then reacclimatize his family. That's another risk.
I agree with you.
And then exactly. Thirdly, is the fact that he's living in his comfort zone. In Napoli, he's an absolute legend. Love it or hate it. When you talk about the folklore of the club, you just have to mention Victor Osimhen for what he's done for the team and what he's done for the club, getting them to the Champions League quarterfinals, in the first acts in a very long time, getting them as well, winning the league for them, being their top scorers back to back, So he's in the history, he's part of the history of that club. So he's coming to a club where he has to now rewrite his own history or make a name for himself. So he starts from the scratch. So these are the risks. But let's look at the positives. Boy, oh boy. See, goal scoring is an act. And it takes someone who understands the act of goal scoring to score goals. I can confirm to you with no iota of doubt that the boy has got the act of scoring goals. He's a fantastic goal scorer. He sniffs his chances and he scores goals. He works so hard, tirelessly for the team. He puts in a shift in every other day of the week and twice on Sunday. He brings other players into the team. He's also very good at setting up players as well. He's got some good assists as well in the Italian Serie A. So,
Yeah.
boy, oh boy, it is what it is. Chelsea have been crying for a striker. Jackson doesn't cut it out for me. I think it's going to be an upgrade on Jackson. So do you want to keep Jackson and who is very myopic, or you look into the future, look into the brighter picture, and that picture with Victor Osimhen in it. So it's a gamble, but there are so many positive. I think for me, the positive outweighs the gamble. And if I'm Chelsea right now, I should be thinking of. But the issue, like I said, is that accent price. The reason why he was given a new contract was because they believed that by the end of the summer, a team would have come in if it was because they thought he would be fit. Unfortunately, he was not. So he only played few games. By the end of the summer, a big team will come and swoop in and get over and pay that £130 million release clause for his signature. But injuries didn't let him play much. So it's now a gamble. Do we pay that amount of money? Okay, the club is not willing to, due to his issues with the club. He had a back and forth with the club, back and forth with the Super Eagles club in the church. So they tend to believe that he has maybe a behavioral issue. So they say, okay, we'll let him go for a lesser price. But I tell you, no matter how less they reduce the amount, I don't think Napoli will let him go for anything less than £100 million because it's one of the, if not the best strikers in the world at the moment. Let's forget about the behavioral issue. He's got it, man. The boy has got it. He's proven it in the top leagues in Europe that he knows the act of scoring goals. So he's just that asking price. Would they be willing to pay that huge fork out that amount of money for his signature? And that's a big question. So fingers tied. Like I said, there's still a lot of team. PSG we hear is also ahead in the chase. There's a certain Arsenal who are looking through the window and seeing whether they could snatch a deal. So it's a lot of things, but for me, it's Chelsea. For Chelsea fans, it's a deal that it should be taken. It's worth taking. It's gonna be an upgrade on Nicolas Jackson all day long.
Okay, now so you've just broken down what will Chelsea gain if they sign Osimhen, and I think with the explanation you just gave now, it's a perfect answer to every question the Chelsea fan needs out there with regards to this deal. And at the moment, no confirmation yet for that move or for that swap deal. But at the end of the day, Chelsea might get their man, and Napoli might also get their man on the other side of the deal.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you so much for this in-depth analysis on uh, the swap deal between Victor Osimhen and Romelu Lukaku. Will it happen?
And I think,
Will it not happen?
yeah,
Hopefully, we'll find out in the next couple of days and weeks to
absolutely.
come before the
But
transfer.
anyway,
And
apart from that, it's a very slow transfer market, guys. The days
yeah,
and the
yeah,
months
yeah,
are the hours and the minutes and the days are rolling past, and it seems nobody's doing business. But it is what it is. We talked about this a lot of time, and let's hope and pray that
yeah.
before the end of the transfer market, some clubs will break the bank. But I think that'll be very
Hopefully,
unlikely.
hopefully. Kindly subscribe to Fancy Football, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, and the rest will be history. We'll keep on bringing you content on demand as we keep on going. Thank you so much for watching.